All right, welcome to this MSIS 5673 Lab 3 homework solution video. So this is to help you to get through your homework. We've got a couple of things for you to do today. So first of all, we're going to look at this year-over-year growth, building a bar-on-bar chart using table calculations. And then most importantly, we're going to be taking a look at how to build dashboards. So we've got this regional sales performance dashboard that you guys are going to build, and you're going to make it interactive where depending on the regions that you select or the markets that you select or whatever you select on the dashboard, it will all be interactive. So let's get started. All right, first of all, we're going to start out in our Lab 3 starter file, TWBX. This starter file has 3 of the 4 sheets that you're going to need to create your dashboard. But first, we need to start out by building the 4th sheet that we're going to use on our dashboard. We're going to call this year-over-year growth. Okay, so open that new sheet, name it year-over-year growth. All right, first of all, we're going to take our date field and drag it onto columns. Right-click on that date field and select the discrete month. Next up, we're going to take our sales field up onto the rows shelf and change your mark type to a bar. All right, next up, we're going to take date to color, and then we're going to take date to size as well. Instead of looking at the quarter of our date, which Tableau automatically drilled into that hierarchy, we don't want the quarter of the date. We want the discrete year of date once again on size. So right-click, select this top option, the discrete year, and there we go. Now we have a stacked bar chart. We don't want the marks to be stacked though. We want it to be a bar and bar chart. The way that we need to do this, we're going to go up here to this analysis menu, go to stack marks and turn those off. Okay. Next up, we are going to rearrange the order of these years so that the colors are different. So instead of 2012 being at the top and 2013 at the bottom, we're going to move 2012 to the bottom of this legend. Okay, that'll rearrange our colors a little bit. Next up, drag your sales field to label. Right-click on the sales field here. Go to Add Table Calculation. And we're going to set it up in the following way. So calculation type is going to be percent difference from. Calculate the difference along date at the level year of date. Display the value as a percent difference from the last. Okay, once you have that set, click OK. Notice how this is kind of broken. So where the value is smaller, we're getting zeros. We need to fix that. The way that we're going to fix that is by creating an additional calculated field, and we're going to use this calculated field inside of it. So first of all, we need to save this year-over-year growth calculated field. So we're going to hold down Control and drag this field into our data window. And then we're going to give it a name. The name we're going to call it is year-over-year growth. Press Enter. Now we're going to click on this drop-down menu and create a calculated field. This calculated field is going to have the following formula. First of all, we're going to give it the name year-over-year growth label. And we're going to say if the min year of date equals 2013, then we're going to return the year-over-year growth end. Okay, that's our year-over-year growth label. We're going to click OK. Now we're going to find that year-over-year growth label and drag it and drop it onto where it replaces the old label. So see this little blue outline? That means it's going to replace that old field. So we're going to drop it right on top of that. And now we get these values. We need to format these values. So we're going to right-click on this measure, select Format, come up here to Numbers. Under Pane, select Numbers. We're going to do a percentage, and let's just do 1 decimal place. Okay. And last but not least, we're going to click on Label. And we're going to check the box where it says down here at the bottom, allow labels to overlap other marks. Okay, and that will allow all of the mark labels to show up. One last thing that we're going to do, we're going to right click on this date field, this date label at the top, and we're going to select hide field labels for columns. Okay, so now we're done with this year-over-year growth activity. Now we're going to take these 4 sheets in our workbooks. So find mapping, top 3 products, sales and profit over time, and year-over-year growth. Now we're going to build a dashboard using these sheets. Okay, so click on this tab down here, the middle one, New Dashboard. First thing to creating a new dashboard is you've got to size it correctly. I'm going to select iPad Landscape for my size. And then I'm just going to drag these individual sheets onto the dashboard. I'm going to take my mapping sheet on, take top 3 products on the upper right side. I'll take sales and profit over time on the bottom left, and I will take year-over-year growth down to the bottom right side. Okay. Next up, I'm going to decide which of these legends I can get rid of. Do I need this year of order date as a size legend? No, because I have it as a color legend. So I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to keep year of date, but I'm going to right click on that and uncheck that show title. So I'm going to get rid of the title on my dates. I'm going to keep this profit and sales one. This measure selection one I am going to get rid of. It's using a parameter anyway. Let's get rid of that. Market, I'm going to get rid of that. We have our markets colored in several places. And this market filter I'm going to keep. All right. I've got to size things. So if I want to size things a little bit differently, I can move my sizing around. Maybe I can slide things down a little bit. I'm going to click inside of this top 3 product sheet, and I'm going to select fit to the entire view. So I want that to take up the entire space that it has available to it. This will come in handy later as we're starting to drill down and use our filtering more. All right, I'm going to move these legends over to the charts that they correspond with. So I'm going to drag this 2013-2012 color legend. Holding down Shift, I'm going to click on this little grid at the top and move that down to the chart that it belongs to. And I'm going to do the same thing for this profit and sales. So I'm going to hold down Shift, drag that measure over here to the bottom left. I'm going to click on this drop-down menu. And I want to arrange these in a single row. So I'm going to choose Arrange Items, and I'm going to select Single Row. And that's going to put them in one row. It's going to fit a little bit better in this space. Okay, just drag it around until it fits in a way that you like. All right, we're going to do the same thing for this color legend. So I'm going to click on this drop down, select Arrange Items, and choose Single Row. See how we have this little gap here? I'm going to drag that over so that they're taking up a little bit less space. Again, I will rearrange this one a little bit more and just kind of eyeball it, make sure it looks good, make sure it makes sense what those things are labeling. Okay. All right. Next up, I'm going to click on Dashboard up here in the toolbar. And I'm going to select Show Title. We need to give this dashboard a title. The title that we're going to give it is Regional Sales Performance. So double click on that dashboard where it says Dashboard 2. We're going to call this Regional Sales Performance. And it will replace the title in the dashboard as well. Next up, I'm going to drag a horizontal layout container to the top part of my dashboard, to the very top of the dashboard. So drag this horizontal layout container up to the top. What this layout container allows me to do is chop this section of the dashboard up in horizontal sections. Okay. So now I'm going to click on my dashboard title and I'm going to drag that regional sales performance up here into the top. Next up, I'm going to fit my market into this, my market filter. So I'm going to click on my market filter. First of all, I'm going to click on this drop down and select Apply to Worksheets, Selected Worksheets, and I'm going to select this option down at the bottom, All on this dashboard, and click OK. I'm also going to click on this drop down and select the second option, Single Value Drop Down. That way it'll take up less space and be a little more efficient with spacing. All right, now I'm going to move this filter up into that layout container that I created so that it shows up next to my dashboard title. Okay. Double check that this is working, just play around with it. It does appear to be working. Okay, make sure that yours is working as well. We're also going to add a little title to the view here. Maybe I want to make my filter a little smaller. All right, what if we want to add a logo? To add a logo, just drag your image up here to the upper left corner of our dashboard, to the left of the dashboard title. Select an image, drop your image there. For your guys' homework, you guys can use any image that you want. I'm just going to use a company logo for my own company. Notice how it makes everything look really weird here. To fix this, we right click and we select fit image. We got to fit it on the dashboard. And then we can also right click and select center image. And then I'm going to slide this little box over to the left a little further. All right, notice how adding some of this stuff threw off the orientation of my dashboard some. Notice how my floating legends have moved. If that happened to you as well, you guys might want to move them back to where you put them originally. This is also a good indication, a good lesson as to why sometimes having floating things on our dashboard is not a good idea. All right, now that that's fixed, I think we have everything kind of hopefully where it's going to ultimately belong. Okay, just kind of eyeball things, make sure that it looks good. All right, we're going to do one last thing. So we're going to click on each of our sheets. I'm going to click on my mapping sheet and select this option to use this sheet as a filter. So click on this little filter button and then click on your top 3 product sheet and use that click use as filter button. Okay, so now depending on what we select here on our dashboard, it will filter everything else. So now everything will be filtered by what I select on this map. This sheet will be, this sheet will be, and this other sheet will be. And this will work as long as I'm using the same data source for all of those sheets. Okay, so I can click on Ohio, and I can click on Texas, and I can click on Nevada, and it will filter everything based on those selections. I can also select Earl Grey in the central market and get a breakdown of just that product within that market. So I can learn more about just that. Okay, so now everything about this dashboard is interactive. It's fun to play around with. Analyze the data. You can analyze the data further and better using this type of dashboard. One last thing, if you want to make a dynamic title, like top 3 products for all, you just double click inside of that sheet, and then you can do include your sheet name, and then you can dynamically insert any field that you used on your dashboard into the dashboard titles for individual sheets. So I'm going to dynamically name this by the state that I have selected. So I'm going to insert my state field. And now depending on whichever state I select, it's going to populate that title with that state selection. All right, to clear these filters off, you press escape. All right, make sure that you save this and submit it before class next Friday. Good luck to all of you. Let us know if you have any additional questions, and have a great day.